The day started like any other until a single red rose appeared on her desk. No card, no explanation. Just one perfectly fresh rose wrapped in twine, its stem trembling slightly, as if it had carried a secret too heavy to hold. If this story shocks you, take a moment right now to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Moral Avenue. Together, we can remind the world that even the quietest hearts can carry the loudest truths. When Professor Claire Donovan gently lifted the rose, a tiny folded note slipped from beneath its petals, and what it said would change everything she thought she knew about her students, about kindness, and about love. Claire was 33, a literature professor at Redwood Community College, a quiet campus tucked between coffee shops and autumn maples. She was the kind of teacher who remembered birthdays, who stayed after class to listen when someone looked sad. But behind her warm smile, Claire carried a weight. Her marriage had ended 2 years ago after years of trying to fix something already broken. Her heart had learned to live in silence until one particular student began to change that. His name was Eli Sanders, 22, quiet but brilliant, the kind of student who never raised his hand, yet wrote essays that read like poetry. He worked late shifts at a gas station, always tired, always polite. He'd linger after class sometimes, pretending to ask about assignments but clearly wanting to say more. Claire noticed. Not in a way that crossed lines, but in a way that reminded her what it felt like to be seen. He once stayed behind as the room emptied and said softly, "Thank you for believing in me, Professor." That was all. Yet the look in his eyes stayed with her long after the lights dimmed. Over the semester, Eli's presence grew impossible to ignore. He'd leave small things on her desk, a quote written neatly on paper, a bookmark shaped like a feather, a cup of coffee on mornings he knew she arrived early. Nothing inappropriate. Nothing she could call romantic. Just small gestures that felt personal. Her colleagues teased her lightly, "Looks like you've got a secret admirer." She'd laugh it off, but deep down, a warmth she hadn't felt in years began to stir. Still, she knew the rules. She never encouraged anything beyond professionalism. But there was a gentleness about Eli that broke through her guarded heart. One afternoon, while grading papers, she noticed his handwriting trembling more than usual. The essay was titled, "Love That Can't Be Spoken." It described a boy who admired someone who taught him how to see beauty against someone he could never tell the truth to. The final line read, "Some flowers are meant to bloom unseen, but they bloom anyway." She reread that sentence 3 times, her eyes stinging. It was the last week of the semester. The air smelled of rain and pencils. Students rushed to finish projects, laughter echoing down the halls. That morning, Claire arrived early the way she always did when she needed silence before facing the noise. She unlocked her classroom door, flicked on the lights, and froze. On her desk lay the single red rose. Its petals were still dewy, freshly cut. Beneath it, a folded note tied with a thin string. Her pulse quickened. She knew it was from Eli, somehow she just knew. For a moment, she hesitated. Was it right to read it? Would it cross a line? But curiosity won over fear. She untied the string and unfolded the paper. The handwriting was unmistakable. "Dear Professor Donovan, if you're reading this, I probably won't see you again. I wanted to say thank you not for your lessons, but for the way you treated me like I mattered. You once told us that words can heal. You healed more than you'll ever know. I wanted to tell you something before I leave, but I couldn't say it face to face. You saved me from giving up. E." Her eyes filled with tears. "Leave," she whispered aloud. Eli hadn't been in class that morning. In fact, she realized he hadn't been in class for 3 days. Concern replaced confusion. She emailed him. No response. She asked other students. They hadn't seen him either. After work, she drove to the gas station where he worked nights. The clerk there, a middle-aged man with kind eyes, looked surprised. "Eli. He quit last week," he said. "Said he was heading home. Mentioned something about his mom." Claire's heart pounded. She knew he was from a small town up north. She'd helped him apply for scholarships there once. That night, she couldn't sleep. The note replayed in her mind like a haunting melody. "You saved me from giving up." Give up on what? She decided to drive there the next morning. The road to Ashford, Eli's hometown, wound through pine-covered hills and old barns. Rain tapped softly on her windshield. When she finally found the Sanders house, the front porch sagged under the weight of years. A woman opened the door to Eli's mother. She looked exhausted, her hands trembling as she clutched a folded blanket. "Mrs. Sanders?" Claire asked gently. "I'm Professor Donovan. Eli was my student." The woman's eyes filled instantly. "You're her," she whispered. "He talked about you every day." Claire's throat tightened. "Is he here?" The woman shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. "No, sweetheart. He's gone. Gone. He passed away 3 days ago." The world stopped. Mrs. Sanders handed her a sealed envelope. "He asked me to give this to you if you ever came looking." Claire sat in her car for a long time before opening it. The rain blurred everything outside. Her hands shook as she unfolded the letter. "Professor Donovan, by the time you read this, I'll be free. I wasn't sick in the way doctors fixed me. I was tired in the way hearts break. You once told us that literature gives people a reason to stay. You gave me that reason. But sometimes, reasons fade. Don't blame yourself. I wanted you to know that your kindness kept me alive longer than anyone else ever could. The rose on your desk, that's the first flower I've ever given anyone. Please keep it. It's proof that you changed someone's life, even if you didn't mean to. With all my gratitude, Eli." Tears fell freely now, her breath breaking into sobs. She pressed the paper to her chest, whispering his name over and over. In the weeks that followed, the college was stunned. Claire didn't tell anyone about the letters. She only told the dean Eli had left suddenly. But something inside her had shifted forever. She started a small project called The Rose Desk, a quiet corner in the student lounge where anyone could leave anonymous notes of gratitude or pain. Within months, it overflowed with messages, apologies, thank yous, goodbyes. Each one a reminder that sometimes the smallest act of kindness, a word, a smile, a moment can save a life. And every morning, she placed a single rose there, in Eli's honor. One day, while clearing out old notes from the rose desk, Claire found one she hadn't seen before written in familiar, careful handwriting. "Dear Professor, if you're reading this, I made it to the other side of the storm. Thank you for giving me the strength to start again. I'm studying creative writing now, just like you said I should. I'll come visit when I'm ready. E." Her hands trembled. Could it be? Was he alive? The handwriting was the same. The signature of the single letter E. Her pulse raced. She ran to her car, gripping the note, staring out the window toward the horizon. Was it real? A coincidence? Or had Eli somehow survived and found his way back? The screen fades to black. To be continued. Moral: the smallest kindness can save a life you never knew was in danger. If this story shook you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with friends, subscribe to Moral Avenue, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us keep spreading stories that inspire and heal. Before we end, tell me in the comments what would you have done if you were Professor Claire? Thank you for watching Moral Avenue.